Bruise for PC is a indie top-down zombie horde shooter that is very unique and is much harder than it looks. The first thing I want to address in my review is the very fair normal price of 99 cents on Steam, but I believe I picked it up on a half-off sale, or 49 cents, and it was well worth the money. And I really love the hand-drawn graphics. It makes me think of the Dishwasher games. This title has no story other than you're a pink cat who kills zombies and various monsters, which leads me into gameplay. The idea sounds very simple. You try to survive in arenas filled with zombies and you have to kill every enemy, with each of the 7 levels having 3 waves to survive. Okay, sounds easy. But boy howdy, this game is challenging. I honestly struggle to put Battle Bruise to words as it's hard to describe. But unlike most games where you defeat an enemy, their body might instantly disappear or disappear after a few seconds. But where Battle Bruise is unique and rather gruesome is that your foes' bodies actually shape the battlefield and cause gore pileups, which you have to traverse around, which can either help or hinder your movements depending on the situation you're in. And under the battlefield and on the outside perimeter is either mud or lava on some of the later levels, which makes your movement beyond slow and makes you very vulnerable, or just straight up harms you, like in the case of lava, and zombies can hide in it for surprise attacks in addition to making accurate shooting a bit harder. Wait, did I say under the battlefield? Why, yes, I did. I don't think I've ever seen a game quite like it outside of maybe a Minecraft minigame where the ground under you can be destroyed. It's seldom in your best interest, as again, it slows you down while walking in it, which makes you very vulnerable, and also makes explosive weapons and your melee dash very tricky, as you can destroy your own solid ground if you're not very careful. But thankfully, such areas can be refilled with the deceased corpses of your fallen foes. Now, I would like to change the topic to enemy variety with the elephants first. These guys are a pain beyond pains. A, they're bullet sponges. B, they're very fast and deal a ton of damage to your limited health bar. C, they can randomly charge in from off-screen with no warning. And D, the worst of all their issues, they tear up your terrain. So elephants always had to be a #1 priority target, which wasn't always easy, especially if they were behind a horde of 50 zombies in a chariot. What are the chariots, you might ask? They can be big or small, with big ones obviously having more health, and they're, well, horse-drawn chariots that explode upon their destruction, which can be helpful among a horde of the undead, but can also destroy your terrain, which again can make it hard to move around. Apart from them, the bulk of your enemies are zombies. Mostly small ones, but giant zombies are tossed in on occasion. They hit you to deal damage, so keep your distance, but they're very fast and spawn in everywhere at an alarmingly fast rate, and it's easy to get overwhelmed, so extreme caution is always needed. The only other enemy is the final boss, who was way too difficult for me, but I don't feel too bad, as according to Steam achievements, less than 5% of players even made it to the final boss. With all that being said, you have a decent arsenal of weapons to defend yourself with that you can purchase between waves, with 5 guns throughout the campaign, each with upgrade tiers, being the spawn and assault rifle, a hunting rifle, my favorite, the shotgun, because of its heavy damage and huge spread, a grenade launcher, and a Gatling gun, or a minigun if you prefer, in addition to having a melee dash attack. And sometimes during the game, power-ups will spawn in. A health pickup, ammo drops, there's no way to purchase ammo, so you're screwed if you run out, a slow time pickup, some red pickup that I never figured out what it did, and my least favorite, the nuke. The nuke sounds good, but is usually a negative to the player. While it kills all zombies in its blast range, it also destroys the ground under it, unless you just happen to have a massive meat pile at its point of impact. In addition to the campaign, there's something called the card defense mode, in which I only beat the first level after maybe 10 tries. You have to survive 8 chaotic waves of undead onslaught while protecting a car from taking damage. Why a car? I have no idea. But in this game, I can barely defend myself. I sure can't protect something else. You can buy expensive turrets to attach to the car for it to defend itself, but they don't have much range and aren't very effective and are truly just a last line of emergency defense. Interestingly enough, the car defense mode has different firearms than the campaign. A pistol, your spawn-in weapon, a rifle, a different shotgun than that in the campaign, a grenade launcher, and a submachine gun, each with their own upgrade tiers of course. On the topic of game length, theoretically this game can possibly be beat in under an hour, assuming you're insanely good at it, but like I said earlier, less than 5% of players even reach the final boss. Sadly, this game doesn't have controller support, but the controls are simple enough that even a keyboard and mouse noob such as myself was able to master it pretty quick. The game's sound effects were good, and finally, the soundtrack. It's pretty decent, not Killing Floor or Severed Steel level good, but it gets the job done. Overall, I give Battle Bruise a 8.1 out of 10 from my grade scale, worth the full 99 cents if you don't want to wait for a sale. And this game does have a sequel, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe I'll play that someday. Some similar games I'd suggest would be Zombieland Double Tap Road Trip or Charlie Murder. While Charlie Murder is a beat 'em up and not a top-down shooter, I have a feeling you'd like it if you enjoyed Battle Bruise. Anyways, y'all, that is all from me for today. Thanks a million for watching. I hope somebody enjoyed my review. For those new to my channel, I mostly play, review, and discuss zombie and horror games, so feel free to check out some of my other content if that maybe sounds interesting. Always remember that Jesus loves you all very, very much. Hope everyone has a blessed day. Peace.